Hello and welcome to the Channel 1 Newsroom from our studios at number 5 Ola Hansen Lane at Tesano in Accra. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu. Coming up. Tricycle refuse collectors in Accra and Kumasi unable to dispose of waste, sparking fears of disease outbreak.
So you appeal to government, please. We know when you listen, you deliver. But we have talked a lot. But today is our last conversation with the media to the government. But next time, we not going to the government again. We rather advise ourselves to dump the refuse to the front.
Central Regional Police Command beefs up security around University of Cape Coast following death of level 200 female student.
Initial investigations suspected that she may have been dead before drowned. Yeah, that's what we suspect. But of course, it's just a suspicion. We are still working on it. We are still interrogating who was the last person she was seen with and stuff like that. So.
Government racing against time to secure favorable outcome following engagement with Canadian authorities after Thomas Partey visa denial.
All strategies are being explored and pursued very actively. In particular, we are leveraging our very cordial diplomatic ties with
President Mahama expected to replace former Chief Justice Sophia Akufo after her resignation from the Council of State.
So the President has formally accepted her resignation and she's no longer a member of the Council of State. The law is clear on what processes to undertake to replace her, and that is going on as we speak. So in due course, a replacement will be announced.
In Channel 1 Business, experts propose urban reforms to make Ghana's cities more competitive and investment ready. And in Channel 1 Sports, Black Stars of Ghana leave the USA to Toronto for World Cup opener against Panama on Wednesday. We are grateful that you join us for the Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 Television. We start with sanitation issues, and tricycle waste collectors in Kumasi are threatening to dump their waste at the entrance of the Otil landfill site if the continuous breakdown of machines at the facility is not fixed. According to the operators who have spent days at the site without being able to offload their waste, they say the situation has become unbearable. There's more in the following report by Ashanti Regional Correspondent Tawfiq Mohammed.
For this, hundreds of tricycles have been stuck at Otil landfill after machines at the site broke down. Addressing the media during a protest at Otil landfill site in Kumasi, the chairman of the Sanitation Tricycle Waste Collectors, Salim Mohammed, said the challenges have disrupted their work. He noted that domestic and industrial waste have piled up, unable to offload at Otil landfill site for this. He added that the machines at the site are not functioning efficiently and cannot handle the tons of waste arriving daily.
Right now, the problem is a lot. Any day, any time that we come here, we used to sleep here. When we come here, we don't have any confidence now. Today, as I'm talking to you, about where we offload the refuse, we sleep. Every day we used to sleep. And it has happened for a long time. So you appeal to government, please. We know when you listen, you deliver. But we have talked a lot. But today is our last conversation with the media to the government. But next time, we not going to the government again. We rather advise ourselves to dump the refuse to the field.
One of the aggrieved operators, Bafo Bempak, said the core challenge is the non-functioning machines at the site and called on government to intervene. He added that the Kumasi mayor gave the site managers a 10-day ultimatum to resolve the situation, but no results were achieved.
And you know the worst problem of it? Anytime we park in here, when you come, either you are engine, you are tie, your gearbox or your fuel, somebody have stolen it. Even they have been stealing machine from this place. So they can't protect our bikes, neither they can help us to offload. So today, with my brothers, or am I lying? We are not sleeping here. We are not sleeping here. We are going to offload.
Meanwhile, Mayor of Kumasi, Richard Ofori Ajimambodi, has admitted that the Oti landfill site is full. He revealed that the Kumasi Traditional Council has directed the Assembly to identify a new location for final waste disposal site.
So this week, a lot of officers are going to be on the ground outside of the Greater Kumasi enclave, and we'll see if we'll be able to identify a place. And then once we identify the place, we'll then put it before Mananum and see if we'll be allocated to it. Then we can go start engineering arrangements then to relocate it.
The situation has sparked fears of a possible outbreak of diseases in the region, especially residents living along the Kasi-Kuwait stretch.
The situation continues here as many tricycle operators are struggling to offload their waste. They are thus calling on authorities to come to their aid by fixing the challenges at the Oti landfill site. For Channel 1 News, I'm Tofik Mohammed, Oti landfill site, Kumasi, Ashanti region.
Let's stay with this story because a similar situation is happening here in Accra. Tricycle operators have abandoned their vehicles along the Wager-McCarthy Hill stretch. The operators say for weeks they are unable to offload waste to the Malam landfill site. Residents and business owners on the stretch continue to urge authorities to find an alternative solution to the ongoing situation. There's more in this report by John Eduji Boja and read by Manuel Ayama.
As the situation persists, residents and business owners along the Wager-McCarthy Hill stretch continue to call on authorities to find an alternative solution to the congestion at the Malam landfill site, which has left hundreds of refuse-laden tricycles parked along the roadside. Many food vendors say the presence of the tricycles, coupled with bad odor and invasion of houseflies, has slowed business activities and driven customers away.
It's very bad, and it's like they don't buy anything. We do sell food here, we don't buy anything, and like the president has to do something about it. This is causing very harmful thing to us. It's like they've blocked the road. When people are coming in to buy something, they can't come. So the president has to do something about it. This is very serious.
Weeks in ye Diania Tugusa, yet Sra Bampen for almost no more young baby found my. As a ball as I swear, copy my numerous 6 o'clock. Ye young crying to me, now outside crying Jim Frama, and money ye, and yet Sra Bampen for only MPs, no more Modiano, Shanom, baby found my.
But your ball and in fact, a higher pa and a pebia, a bassa baton idea. Na bolano, ebesi her. Obi cry the car, but no be parker. In fact, ye obi omunya quine. No more the car names or crown or mabeto ye no manama. Into Bolane de higher pa, de be a siasana, and once and I have a bree, ya can, ya madama can, and opebia no maba parker at it, until moon to fear. On basi ha check.
The residents are urging authorities to swiftly resolve the situation before their businesses collapse.
And they were calling on the EC and the MP to help and secure things. If they have any pass-by route, you can't stop them doing what they're doing. But if they have any pass-by route, they can use it, or if they can schedule time for the people in the night when things close, people that works close, then we do their works. Is okay. So, but what I'm telling you, yesterday I came here to eat. People came here, they will buy food instead to rest, to eat. They will go. All these flies are disturbing. You can't be eating, and especially okra. You know what I mean? So we're just calling on help so that they can fix the situation. It's too bad for us.
And I'm Sabola for the chassis and I'm a Janatiaco form. So, how I may famu. Semester a man penning say, on your be for home my no one pebble be I be cry a bolano. Said ye be ya, a day be 2 years, a damase.
Meanwhile, tricycle operators say they are equally affected by the congestion at the landfill site, insisting they have no alternative place to dispose of the waste they collect.
Now, residents of Nyankrom in the Shama district are calling on government and relevant authorities to urgently repair the Nyankrom junction to Nyankrom town road, which has become difficult to use following recent rains. The community, home to major industries including tile and water closet manufacturing plants, blame the damage on heavy-duty trucks that frequently use the stretch. Channel 1 News' Western Regional Bureau Chief Akwesi Ejenim reports from Nyankrom.
A month after residents of Nyankrom demonstrated over the deplorable state of their road, some work has begun on the construction of drainage gutters along the stretch. However, residents say the condition of the road itself has worsened, particularly with the recent rains, making daily commuting a major challenge.
So this is a typical situation here on the Nyankrom junction to Nyankrom town, a 2.5 kilometer road, which has become so deplorable, largely caused by these heavy-duty trucks that are actually hauling clay for the various clay manufacturing companies, including Twyford and Marco Polo, that are basically being accused of actually destroying the road. As we speak, the road has become so much muddy to the point that ordinary vehicles struggle to come, and residents over here are basically being made to force themselves taking motorbikes. And even with that, they tell me riding on these motorbikes have become so dangerous that sometimes they even find themselves falling off the motorbikes. And this is an example of the means of commuting on this very short distance road because of the distraction caused by these heavy-duty trucks.
Yeah, because
construction of the gutters, this road, at least something could be done about it. You could see people walking through these muddy areas and those things. Honestly, the whole thing is there's no even a footpath for the residents even to walk through. That's about than to walk through the muddy area.
If you are in a taxi and you are wearing a white shirt, by the time you reach Nyankrom, it will become dirty. You have to go and change for another dress before you go to wherever you are going. So this road is very difficult. Sometimes I feel it bad to come to church in the evening.
Yeko kumana say yeko bibia edin kakra. Sensuo to a ekwan no so enye atache na ewom no enye unye bebi mpu na wetia na wetumi akọ. Nti eba nsa na ema woche. Ena say moto no so a wode kọ no say nipa no nyi experience ya obetumi ahwe ase.
While residents welcome the ongoing drainage works, they are calling on the Shama District Assembly to ensure that the contractor accelerates work on the project. They also want immediate attention given to the west sections of the road.
Even though I start to be better, we're starting in there. But when you're more workers, so there'll be a man work and mammy. And until you're sorry, Kotwaba, and be in here, because I buy a baby aboko. And yes, system there. And the other seminar say, if you put it in here, and never bear west to cry. And I tell you, I had drink, yes, someone,
So we're thinking at least some level of first-hand job could be done to at least help people go out and come in easily. But again, we don't know what's happening.
They have given the road to contractor. The contractor should come and at least level it for us.
For now, residents are basically banging their hopes on early completion of the construction that is currently going on, but they tell the pace at which the construction is going doesn't look that promising. Hence, some pressure must be put on the contractor to execute the project within the scheduled time. For Channel 1 TV News, I'm Akwesi Ejenim, Nyankrom.
Now, police have beefed up security around the University of Cape Coast, UCC, following the tragic death of a level 200 female student. The police say detailed investigation has commenced to find the killers of Innocentia Achuvi Avenue. Central Regional Correspondent Akwesi Ado has more in this report.
Remains of the deceased Innocentia Achuvi Avenue were uncovered by police on Saturday, June 13, 2026. A day after the deceased failed to return to her shared hostel after going out the previous night. She laid motionless along the shore closer to Hashland Beach Resort. Police say the matter is under investigation and leaving no stone unturned, even though they are yet to make any leads to possible suspects, while also intensifying security in and around UCC.
Initial investigation suspected that she may have been dead before drowned. Yeah, that's what we suspect. But of course, it's just a suspicion. We are still working on it. We are still interrogating who was the last person she was seen with and stuff like that. So when we are done, we'll let the public know.
Management of the University of Cape Coast say it is strongly collaborating with police to investigate the incident described as unfortunate.
When these things happen, of course, because the police is involved, we'll be doing our own investigation. But to what end? Until you cooperate with the police to find out what might have caused. But we work with the police till yesterday, Sunday, until the police gives us a briefing on the next, if you like, information. It will be difficult to speculate, but we know very well that the police are on the beat.
While investigations continue, student safety has been assured, while counseling support has also been offered to colleagues of the deceased, particularly her roommates.
We are not happy. We are sad. We have been able to speak to the student, especially the roommate, on those who are closer. They are going through counseling processes. We are really very sad.
Here at the university campus, the matter has generated a mixed reaction from students.
For her being a student, at least there are some things she shouldn't have opened doors to. She didn't know him, but because she felt like it's online thing, so she felt like going out with him in the first place. So to me, it wasn't the best decision to take.
It's a very sad incident, it's really worries. We all don't know the cause of it, and we as a students, we have to just protect ourselves wherever we go. We ought to let our friends or roommates know where we are going.
Some have raised security and safety concerns along the Pedu Junction, UCC Second Gate Elmina stretch, an area in close proximity to where Innocentia's remains were discovered, which is always in pitch darkness at night.
We also need some little improvement in it, so they will have to enforce their security systems and also help to protect us.
And I want to put it on record that UCC is a very safe community. As you can see, activities is really going on. We have to prioritize our security first as students.
With the nature of the road, it being a highway, I feel like the lighting there should be more than it is as right now. And the place is full of bushes.
Speaking to Channel 1 News, Head of Public Affairs Department of UCC called for an immediate action to address the issue of poor lighting in the area.
Is to appeal to the Metropolitan Assembly, if you like, government agencies responsible for our road and lighting and everything, to make sure that we have a very good environment.
Police have intensified security measures here in Cape Coast, particularly at UCC, even as it continues to conduct rigorous investigations into this current incident. For the Channel 1 Newsroom, I am Akwesi Ado, Cape Coast Central Region.
Now, family members of the Tema West NDC Women's Organizer have renewed calls for thorough investigations into the whereabouts. 2 years after Paulina Lamisi Akambodiwo went missing, the family says nothing has been heard. They have therefore appealed to President Mahama to intervene. Channel 1 News' Manuel Ayama has more.
According to colleagues, Paulina was carrying out party assignments on the day she disappeared. However, at some point, they lost contact with her, and all attempts to reach her proved unsuccessful, sparking concerns about her whereabouts.
First day the family called me that we can't find your madam. I said, why? Because I remember proud to that she called me and said, Eva, tell this woman there's somebody that normally prepares food for us to do banku and tilapia. The woman did it, waiting. So me, I thought maybe it's a normal thing. Then I received a call on Friday that your madam is not in the house. I said, why? Okay, we thought maybe, they said 1 week. When I called, her phone was not going.
Following her disappearance, the Ghana Police Service launched investigations into the case. Just a day later, a dismembered female body was discovered in a suitcase dumped in a bush at Tema Community 25. Although the family initially indicated that photographs of the remains did not resemble Paulina, investigators proceeded with scientific processes to establish the identity of the deceased. More than 2 years after these developments, the case remains unresolved, with no definite answers for the family. Frustrated and heartbroken, they say they simply want the truth.
We patiently make a passionate appeal to His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama to personally intervene and help ensure that renewed attention is given to this matter. We believe that under your leadership, the institutions of state can be encouraged to intensify effort towards bringing closure to this painful chapter. This is not merely a political issue, it is a human issue. It's about a mother, a daughter, a citizen of Ghana whose family deserves answers.
Amid emotions, NDC members and executives in the Tema West constituency also demanded answers and justice for their missing colleague.
CID boss, sorry what?
As public servants and leaders, we have a responsibility to ensure that no case is forgotten. We acknowledge the efforts made by the security agencies, but we respectfully urge that all necessary resources continue to be deployed to bring this matter to a conclusion.
Now, the High Court in Accra has dismissed an application by lawyer Andy Appiah-Kubi seeking to withdraw as counsel for New Patriotic Party Ashanti Regional Chairman Bernard Entry-Bosiaku, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, in an ongoing criminal case. Delivering its ruling on Monday, June 15, the court held that the application was not supported by any legal authority or judicial precedent. The court further noted that the application had not been served on the client, a requirement it considered fundamental in such circumstances. Meanwhile, Bernard Entry-Bosiaku, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, has appointed former Ebuakwa South Member of Parliament and lawyer Samuel Atachia as his new lead defense counsel in the criminal case which is currently pending before the High Court in Accra. The appointment comes days after the court rejected an application by his former lead counsel, lawyer Andy Appiah-Kubi, to withdraw from representing him in the ongoing proceedings. You're watching Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 television. Still ahead, experts propose urban reforms to make Ghana cities more competitive and investment ready. More on that when we return. Please stay with us.
The best part of going home is family.
Sit up! Hey, mommy, my wife is cooking something delicious.
Hot pepper sauce, spicy.
Lizzie Shito, the Shito. Lizzie Shito, over
Lizzie Shito, please, can I take some to school tomorrow?
Yes, my son, you can. Lizzie Shito, dear. Ebesu obiasu.
Lizzie to hot pepper sauce. Yes, spicy and gasa.
Lizzie Shito hot pepper sauce. Yes, spicy.
For bulk purchase, kindly contact 050-168-3344 or 050-155-0998. This advert is FDA approved.
Radisro. Eteye simanisi. Doctor Samuel Koyo operation. Cataract surgery. Nisro.
Minia. Ustro sesen. Sisi ya Dr. Agawa ama operation ya ye simple okrom ha wonte. Sisi ya de no ABS.
ABS. And also ne
ABS na chese. No anesthesia. No bleeding. No suture. Unt na hospital hokra nche. Obeji di senra. Mekoye surgery.
Sa.
Ani o. Enese medi ye medwuma ne you. Hwese meni da ho clear.
Wow. Na simple sa. O se hospital ba no.
Dr. Agawa's Eye Hospital. Ebentesano Police Station. Wow. From Neya was 0501-534-498 and 0553-019-311.
Dr. Agawa's Eye Hospital for eyes like new.
Yeah, welcome back. Up next is Channel 1 Business with Nashika Caesar.
CNR Business is brought to you by EcoBank.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey, Abili, wabadim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account. 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't get played. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, please, I'm calling from Customer Experience Center.
Well, it's time for business, and Nashika looking all bright. Are you supporting Spain or Cabo Verde? Which one? Because they are looking very bright there.
I'm supporting the Netherlands and Germany.
Oh, Netherlands and Germany, I see.
Yeah.
Please give us the latest in the world of business.
Now, the founder of AB and David Africa, David Ofosudote, has cautioned that Ghana's rapid urbanization is outpacing the development of critical infrastructure needed to support growing populations in the country's major cities. According to him, the mismatch has contributed to congestion, inadequate public services, and weak urban planning. Challenges he believes require urgent government attention. Here's more.
Stakeholders at the second roundtable discussion of the City Business Festival 2026 have underscored the need for strategic investment in infrastructure, innovation, and urban planning to ensure Ghana's cities remain competitive and capable of driving sustainable economic growth.
We are not matching the infrastructure to this movement. So, for example, in Greater Accra and Tema, the drainage channels that we had in the 60s are still the same drainage channels that we are using.
The executive representative of the Ghana Institution of Engineer Ya Obenewa Okujeto called for stronger collaboration among key stakeholders.
We have everything that we need on paper to make sure that Ghana develops. It's a matter of implementation. And in implementing these things, we need people to actually be stakeholders by ensuring that their waste management system is done properly, that they are buying into a governance structure that actually promotes development.
President of the Ghana Institute of Architects, Tony Asari, also lamented the inadequate number of architects in the country.
I mean, out of the 261 MMDAs, they don't have more than 10 or 12 architects. 269 now. Well, okay. Now, so, and they don't have any only 10 architects or 12 architects or so. So if we decide that we want to create a market or want to create a certain urban milieu, who creates that vision? How are they able to collaborate with the planners to be able to create that vision?
The president of the Ghana Institute of Planning, Percy Anabukari, touched on what his outfit is doing to improve city planning.
Currently, we have a greater master plan, the Greater Accra Metropolitan Area Master Plan, which transits somewhere in 2040. So, and we are implementing. And if we follow through, all the major corridors in Accra have had interventions that has to do with transport, housing, things that we even deal with these flooding issues that we have. Protect the green areas and ensure that the wetlands are also protected. And those who do not protect it, all the duty bearers, we need to do naming and shaming.
Managing Director of LMI Homes Limited, Kofi Adabo Ofori Amanfo, emphasized the need for increased investment in affordable housing.
Even with the PPPs, we need as a country to try and de-risk it. If we want to move properly into the PPP space, which I really buy into, which I believe in, the government needs to take a critical look at it and see how best they can bring the real framework that will help us.
Senior Manager for Real Estate Financing at Absa Bank Ghana, Nana Kwejo Bwachi Champon, highlighted the importance of improving infrastructure and urban development across Ghana's cities.
If my funding happens to be, for instance, foreign currency, am I open to the fluctuations in the currency? How does that look like, right? Because at the end of the day, any returns that you make in a city-dominated asset might be eroded if the currency fluctuates or moves to the other end of the curve. So that's one thing to bear in mind as well.
The City Business Festival 2026 is powered by City 97.3 FM and Channel 1 TV in partnership with Absa Bank and proudly sponsored by Absa Bank, MTN Ghana and Zondatech Ghana Limited and Petra Trust. Now, the government says it is rolling out targeted policies and programs to nurture more Ghanaian businesses into globally competitive companies capable of attracting investment, expanding across international markets, and eventually listing on the Ghana Stock Exchange. According to the Minister of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Ofosu-Adjare, the initiatives are aimed at creating an enabling environment for indigenous firms to grow and access capital through the stock market. Here's more.
Speaking at the listing ceremony of Kasapreko PLC, Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry Elizabeth Ofosu-Adjare said government is working to boost local industries through value addition, competitiveness and greater market access.
His Excellency President Mahamad's administration deliberate focus on macroeconomic stabilization, restored investor confidence and structured private sector engagement has created the conditions for listing like this one to happen.
Managing Director of the GSC, Abnamo, said the company's decision to tap into the public market reflects growing confidence among businesses in Ghana's economic outlook.
The listing of Kasapreko is a big sign of confidence returning to our equities markets. We believe that the macroeconomic environment is the right one for companies to start looking at their medium and long-term goals. And any company that has the plan, as Kasapreko said, to become a 100-year-old company, one of the key areas they need to look at is public capital markets like the Ghana Stock Exchange, where we promise three key things: access to patient and affordable capital, the best corporate governance practices, and the opportunity for the general public to participate in the growth and the history of the company.
Managing Director of Kasapreko PLC also noted that proceeds from the share offer will fund a new production facility to boost capacity and meet rising demand.
For us, currently, Kasapreko is struggling to meet the demand out there. So we are building a new factory in Adesso to meet that demand. And this is going to bring us growth of over 60% in terms of production capacity. So we are poised to target both the ECOWAS market and also the after markets.
Let's now bring you an update on crude oil prices and how the local currency is performing on the interbank markets. And that's it for Channel One Business. I am Nashika Caesar. Sanda, back to you.
Thank you so much, Nashika Caesar, with the latest in the world of business. Now, government has rejected allegations that the Ministry of Roads and Highways has become a quote-unquote sole source factory, insisting that the overwhelming majority of road contracts awarded under the current administration were procured through open and competitive tendering processes. Addressing a press briefing in Accra on Monday, government spokesperson Phyllis Kwachi Ofosu disclosed that a detailed investigation ordered by President Mahama found that 90.28% of all road contracts awarded since 2025 were subjected to competitive procurement procedures. There's more in the following report.
To the country's procurement. The review examined contracts awarded by the Ministry of Roads and Highways since 2025 under the Big Push program, assessing compliance with the country's procurement laws and regulations. Government says the findings showed that competitive tendering remained the dominant method for awarding contracts, with restricted tendering and sole sourcing used only in circumstances permitted under the law.
1,301 out of 1,441 contracts, representing 90.28% of road contracts under this government, were awarded through the open competitive tendering process. 90.28%. Only 4.58% of the total 1,441 road contracts awarded by the Ministry of Roads and Highways in 2025 and 2026 were awarded through the single sourcing process, 4.58%. The report therefore concludes that Ministry of Roads and Highways did not breach any procurement laws by using the single source procurement process prescribed in the Public Procurement Act 2003, that is Act 663, as amended.
The government also dismissed claims that salaries of staff at the presidency have been increased under the current administration. The minister insists the remuneration structure currently in place was approved under the previous Akufo-Addo administration.
President Akufo-Addo submitted the recommendations to Parliament, which was approved. Now, because President Mahama, in compliance with the Constitution, has not set up a committee to determine the conditions of service or the salaries of people working under him, it is what we came to meet that we are taking. It is therefore illogical and blatantly false for anybody, especially members of the opposition, after having determined the conditions of service of Article 71 of the office holders, to turn around and claim that President Mahama has increased the salaries and conditions of Article 71 office holders.
Meanwhile, government has confirmed that steps are underway to fill vacancies arising from recent departures from key public institutions. Former Chief Justice Sophia Kufu has officially resigned as a member of the Council of State, while the Electoral Commission's Deputy Chairperson, Dr. Sarah Bosman, has resigned from his position, and Samuel Tete retiring from his position.
She did not disclose the reason for wanting to resign. When the president received the letter, he was required then to indicate his acceptance of the resignation. But at the behest of the Council of State, he had to hold on because they said they wanted to engage Justice Sophia Kufu to see if there was some grievance that she had that was informing the resignation and whether or not there was a way that it could be addressed. So they asked the president to hold on with the acceptance. But they got back and said that they had engaged, and as far as they were concerned, the resignation could be accepted. So the president has formally accepted her resignation, and she's no longer a member of the Council of State. The law is clear on what processes to undertake to replace her, and that is going on as we speak. So in due course, a replacement will be announced.
So that's the Member of Parliament and Minister of State in charge of Government Communication, Phyllis Kwachi Ofosu. So now one of the issues he responded to has to do with the staff at the presidency and the cost of maintaining them. We've been joined on the line now for more on this particular issue by someone who once served as Deputy Chief of Staff under the first term of the Akufo-Addo administration. Subsequently, he occupied other portfolios, Ministry for Lands, that's what he became. He went to the people of Damongo in the Savannah region asked for their hand and they elected him as Member of Parliament. He's currently spokesperson or ranking member on the Foreign Affairs Committee of Parliament. The Honorable Samuel Abojinapo is joining us. You're welcome to Channel One Newsroom, sir.
Thank you very much, my good friend Mario Sandan.
Good to hear from you. Now, this issue about the cost of running staff at the presidency, you have been a deputy staff, chief of staff before. How big a deal is it, how much we spend on staff at the Jubilee House, considering that that's the fulcrum of our governance?
Well, I have made a point, and which is a point I've consistently made, that the size of a government goes beyond the number of ministers and deputy ministers, which is why I believe the current discussion on this matter has become so heated. Because you have a situation where we have a government, the current Mahama administration, which claims to have formed the leanest government in the history of the Fourth Republic, and yet the cost of running that government turns out to be the highest we've ever had in the Fourth Republic. The reason is very simple. At the Office of Government Machinery, you have appointees who are pegged according to a particular procedure. And so if you have, for example, the Chief of Staff at the Office of the President is pegged above an MP cabinet minister but below the Speaker of Parliament. A senior presidential advisor is pegged at the level of an MP cabinet minister, and the presidential advisor is pegged as a non-MP cabinet minister. A presidential aide is pegged at a deputy minister of state. So if you have a government where you have, let's say, 58 ministers and deputy ministers as we have today, but you have, for example, as it is in the case under this government, original organizers of the NDC, National Democratic Congress, have been appointed as presidential staffers and assigned to the Regional Coordinating Council. By all intents and purposes, they are ministers of state. So you have 16 additional ministers of state when it comes to the incidences on the public exchequer or the public purse or on compensation. And if you have, as we speak today, presidential staffers, presidential aides who have been seconded to ministries, departments, and agencies as corporate affairs directors, as special assistants to ministers, and so on and so forth. And so the point we make is very simple. You have the 2026 budget where estimate for compensation is pegged at 550 million Ghana cedis. In 2024, President Akufo-Addo's estimates for compensation was pegged at 326 million Ghana cedis, almost a whooping 200 million plus Ghana cedis, the difference between 2026 and 2024. You will then be more or less concerned that why do we have a so-called lean government today, and yet the cost of running that government is much bigger? The answer is what I've just told you. Take, for example, the number of deputy ambassadors across the missions of our country around the world. Akufo-Addo has 6 deputy ambassadors. President Mahama has 18 deputy ambassadors. So that really is at the heart of the issue. That's the gravamen of the discussion. And so that's why I've made a point consistently that to appreciate the true size of the government, you will miss the point if you restrict your analysis to just ministers and deputy ministers.
But Felix Kwachi made the point that there are civil servants who've been recalibrated and added to the presidency. For instance, he is not a minister for information. There used to be information ministry with the ISD staff and all of those people. Because there's no ministry called information now, they have been brought under the presidency where he is operating from. And there are other instances like that. He said that is why the figure looks bloated, and that's why their wage bill would cost more than what the wage bill used to be when you were there.
Yeah, but under President Akufo-Addo, free SHS was run from the presidency, and so many other agencies were run from the presidency. So the point I'm really making very simply is that, look, I'm not even criticizing President Mohammed's government for having a big government or for having a bloated compensation budget for Office of Government Machinery. That is really not my point. I'm just saying that, please, let's be candid and dispassionate and transparent and honorable about this discussion. Because, look, if you, Omar, if you want, just commission a research from STFM. Let's get some team in your group to get into this matter and do a proper analysis of the number of people who are corporate affairs directors in various MDAs, people who are special assistants, communication directors, the missions across the world, the Ghanaian missions across the world. You talk to foreign service officials, they will tell you every mission, they have the 5, 10, 15 NDC operatives or activists who have been appointed there as this, as that, as this, as that. So you just have a situation where we have a certain charade of a lean government in the form of ministers and deputy ministers, but in reality and in substance, the real government size is bigger than we've ever found or seen in the Fourth Republic, and that is why we are seeing the cost of compensation so high. And I think it's just about time that we should admit it. Look, the Constitution is very clear. The president is mandated to form a government in a manner that he deems fit to run a purposeful government and a government which will deliver for the people. But I'm saying that conclusion or assertion that because we have 58 ministers, we have a lean government is totally misleading.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you.
That's Honorable Samuel Abu Jinapo. He is Member of Parliament for Damongo and the ranking member on the Foreign Affairs Committee of Parliament. This is Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 Television. And to some other stories, government has expressed optimism about securing a favorable outcome in its engagement with Canadian authorities over the visa denial of Black Stars midfielder Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey was denied visa to Canada ahead of Ghana's FIFA World Cup opener against Panama in Toronto on Wednesday, June 17. There's more in the following report by Channel 1 News' Fauzu Masawudu.
Government is racing against time to secure a review of the decision by Canadian authorities to deny Black Stars deputy captain Thomas Partey a temporary residence visa ahead of Ghana's FIFA World Cup opener against Panama in Toronto on Wednesday. The Minister for Foreign Affairs, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, who has been engaging Canadian officials on the matter, expressed optimism about a positive outcome during a media briefing in Accra.
All strategies are being explored and pursued very actively. In particular, we are leveraging our very cordial diplomatic ties with Canada, and we believe that the ongoing negotiations should produce positive outcomes.
In a separate development, the minister defended the participation of French President Emmanuel Macron in an upcoming high-level consultative conference on the implementation of the UN resolution on the trafficking of enslaved Africans, despite France's abstention during the adoption of the resolution.
It is true that France did not vote in support of Resolution 80/250. However, it has, since the adoption of the resolution, demonstrated a willingness to constructively engage on the reparations agenda. It is important to note that beyond the symbolic unveiling of the mast of fraternity and memory mounted in the city of Nantes in April, more concrete action has been taken, including the historical repeal on 28 May of Code Noir of 1685, the Black Code, which classified enslaved Africans as movable property. Very despicable.
Highlighting progress made so far, the minister disclosed that a number of countries have given assurances of their willingness to return looted artifacts taken from African nations during the transatlantic slave trade era.
It is also important to emphasize that other European nations that abstained from the vote have demonstrated good faith. The Dutch have officially written to us to indicate that they have a catalog of artifacts looted during those dark days, which they are willing to return. The Germans have done the same. The Danes are the latest to notify us of their commitment to the return of artifacts.
For the Ghanaian government, the forthcoming high-level consultative conference will signal an unflinching commitment to actionalizing the UN resolution on the transatlantic slave trade. Reporting for Channel 1 News from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Fauzu Masaudu.
And here in our studios at number 5, Ola Hanselin at Tessano in Accra, I am Umaru Sandamadu. You're watching Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 Television. Still ahead, Black Stars of Ghana leave the USA to Toronto in Canada for World Cup opener against Panama on Wednesday. More on that when we return. Please stay with us.
This is the old way. Let me show you a new and a better way. EduPark.
EduPark?
Yes, EduPark. A GS-approved and supported initiative for all first-year students going to SHS by Prospectus Ghana Limited. Now you don't need to go to the market. All your trunks, mattresses, pillows, including plastic chalkboards, are all waiting for your child at the school. Note, all our wooden chalkboards are being changed to plastic ones to avoid bedbugs.
You can also register by dialing *713*821# following the prompts, or you can visit www.eduparkgh.com and tap register. You can also register at any ADB branch near you at a very affordable price. EduPark, approved and supported by GES.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, Asamo.
Me didn't tum. Mr. Femi Calico, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Femi once now.
Hey, is that you? Improve car. Yeah. Captain, mosquito, double the action.
Me did this sasso spray. Mr. Femi sasso quell. Yeah, go to my sasso
Sasso, come and tum preko.
Yeah, welcome back. Up next is Channel 1 Sports with Bernard Abekwatri. So it's all coming down to Toronto. Toronto.
Yeah. I mean, for the Black Stars, but for Partey's issue, I think preparations has been calm. We've not heard a lot of negative news around the team this time around, and they are focused issues with their bonuses. That's
all that noise. No, it's because they've not scored a single goal yet. Or they've not played a single match. When they play, they may start saying that we should bring them money.
Sender, don't do that.
Cabo Verde has set the standard for us against Espanyol.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they after beating Eswani in their qualifiers, nobody had faith in them, but they believed in themselves. So they had a guy who was a mortgage advisor, left banking and started football. He was in their defense. They call him, he has a nickname that the guys call him. That's Lopez is his name.
Old man.
Fantastic. He's 40 years old, and I feel he's done exploits so far in the
The fact that they even drew goalless against Spain, for me, they won the World Cup. Take it up.
Let's get into it, shall we now? The Black Stars have left Rhode Island for Toronto as preparations intensify ahead of their opening match at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Head coach Carlos Queiroz and his 26-man squad concluded their training camp in the United States, having spent the past few days fine-tuning their preparation in Providence, Rhode Island, after early sessions in Virginia and Washington. The team is expected to settle into its Canadian base before holding an official training session at the BMO field on Tuesday, June 16. We are hoping the Stars make the whole nation super proud. Let's stay with the World Cup because Tunisia have become the first nation to change coaches at the 2026 FIFA World Cup after dismissing head coach Sabri Lamouchi following their 5-1 defeat to Sweden in their opening group match. The Tunisian Football Federation confirmed the decision in a statement on Instagram, announcing that an agreement had been reached to part ways with Lamouchi. Former Tunisian coach Monher Kabir is expected to take charge on an interim basis. Lamouchi was appointed in January and managed only 5 matches, recording a single victory. Tunisia now face a crucial group stage fixture against Japan and the Netherlands as they attempt to revive their World Cup campaign. That's the very latest from the world of sport. And I am Bernard Abeko-Ochre. That's the Sports Under.
Thank you so much, Bernard Abeko-Ochre. And that's how we wrap up today's edition of the Channel One Newsroom. Now, before we go, a recap of our headline stories. Tricycle refuse collectors in Accra and Kumasi unable to dispose of waste, sparking fears of disease outbreak. Central Regional Police Command beefs up security around the University of Cape Coast following death of level 200 female students. Government racing against time to secure favorable outcome following engagement with Canadian authorities after Thomas Partey visa denial. President Mahama to announce replacement for former Chief Justice Sophia Kufu after her resignation from the Council of State. Well, if you missed any of our stories and you want to read further, visit our website, channel1newsonline.com, for information on our top stories and more. Subscribe to Channel One TV on YouTube for more exclusive video content from Channel One TV. You can also download the Channel One Newsroom app on Google Play Store. I am Umaru Sandamado. Thank you so much for joining us.